So stage two is the initial contact and qualification. So the real objective here is after you establish the lead and you've entered that lead into the Aspire CRM, you're going to want to understand, is this customer qualified to go further down the stage? Do you want to do business with them? And then if you do, how do you convert them from that qualification stage into a customer? And so really, we're trying to measure the qualified lead conversion rate. You're going to get some junk that you filter out, which is helpful to know how effective and efficient your lead generation is, but isn't necessarily the best measurement of how effective your sales force is. And that's really looking at qualified lead conversion is a better measure of that. So, what do you want to do? After you have a new lead, you want to track your tasks like initiating calls or emails, follow-up tasks, what their names are in a really formal way. And so our suggestion to keep this data in a good usable format for analytics is to add that new lead, make sure you track and initiate those calls. You name your tasks in a standardized format. This will require training and some enforcement, but if you organize your tasks in this way, it becomes much, much easier from a data standpoint to filter and pivot the information to come up with analytics. So if you always describe your call tasks in the way we have here, which is call dash, the contact name, and then when you do a pivot, you can say, okay, I made X amount of calls, I made Y amounts of emails, I did Z amount of group meetings, and then you can take that information and use it to determine which of the activities in converting qualified leads into customers are most effective. And so when you have a new lead, we create that contact, and then that allows us to track the progress of that new lead in Aspire for calls and emails, which we're going to log. So you can add call logs in Aspire. There's a subject line. You can pick different categories. The categories that are built in are fairly comprehensive, and by utilizing them for your initial call, follow-up call, different types of emails, again, you can really drive sales effectiveness to determine what matters in terms of converting folks. And so these are all fields that are available to log in Aspire and to use to really be more effective from a sales standpoint. You can also track your emails. This grouped task here is something you can do within your lists and create a hierarchy so that, again, versus trying to export data, well, really, this is probably a step before that. You export data, you have to find a common key. You then have to put that data into some sort of database, whether that's a pivot table or Power BI or Cognos, and then you have to extract it, and then you probably have to go back into the source system if you want to see details. By establishing these tasks and hierarchies within lists in Aspire, as you're having your business development review, as you're having your salesperson look at what their tasks and activity set are in their dashboard or something else, it's real-time data available to drill into and see the details and then take immediate action. And so tracking all these emails and tasks is a really critical portion of being effective and turning a qualified lead into a customer. So now I think we are going to have a poll question. So our question, if you could please answer it, is what's your biggest bottleneck in the sales process? Is it lead generation, like finding potential customers? Is it qualifying them? Is it getting into a discussion, a consultation, and providing an estimate? Or is it delivering your proposals and getting response back? Okay, so pretty disparate responses between lead generation, qualification, and proposal delivery. And then we have 42% for consultation and estimating. And so we'll hit that next, but I think that it's interesting that that's the biggest bottleneck. So you've qualified the lead, you have a good prospect, and now you've got to go out and do an estimate. That's very addressable with tools that are available native to Aspire, like Property Intel, and also, and some of those activities, other than meeting face to face with the client, those are good places to get assistance from other companies, like our company. So let's go into